Hey there, everybody. Hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, we're just here kind of today getting back into the groove of things, hanging out a little bit. I haven't done my live stream since Dizzy Mystics has been on tour, so it's the first time that since I've been back for tour, 14 hours, that we're doing another nice live stream today. So we're not going to necessarily move forward with the patterns just yet. We're going to get on that tomorrow, but for today, we're going to review all the ones that we've done. So we're at number 40 right now. Coincidentally, it's number 40 and also my 100th live stream. So, well, not my 100th live stream, my 100th video on. So for me, that sets the goal that I set for myself to do in 2018. I wanted to put up 100 videos. So this video marks the achievement of that goal for me. So, woo. All right. So we're going to hang out a bit. We're going to go over some stuff. We're gonna take our time a little bit more today. Maybe it'll be a bit longer of a video than usual. My live streams so far have been about 10 minutes since I started doing them. But yeah, today we're gonna go over what we've done. We're gonna review. If this is your first time seeing my channel, seeing Bacon's Bass Place, make sure you like and subscribe and share, and we're going to be doing lots of fun stuff. I have all of my videos that we've done on our 50 basic slap bass patterns series nicely organized in a playlist for you guys so you can see. So when we're reviewing today, we're going to review, and I'm just going to kind of do what comes to me in the moment. And there's a lot of particular ways that I chose to approach certain patterns in this series that I'm not necessarily going to do right now. I'm just going to go through it and do what comes to me. So if you want to get a bit more specialized with each pattern, make sure you go check out each of the videos for all these patterns, because there's a whole entire video for every one of these patterns that we're going to do today. So make sure that if you guys are enjoying it, that you go check those out, that you like them. Tell your friends. Okay. I'm just going to put this a little bit more where I can see it, where my young and aging eyes all at the same time can see. Okay, so the way that we started with these patterns is we kind of take the basic blocks, the basic one-hit strokes. And, we have open, which can be slapped or popped, slapped or popped. We have the slap, we have the pop, we have hammer-ons, we have pull-offs. That's essentially it. So then I didn't do any of the 2-block patterns for this one, but we started with the 3s, so that's okay, because I think it makes a bit more of a pattern when we start with 3, and it avoids like getting stuff that's maybe a little bit too rudimentary for us, because 2 patterns, just 2 strokes, a lot of times can just feel like one almost. So the first one we did was open, hammer, slap. Open, hammer, slap. Cool. So I'm just kind of varying it up a little bit, instead of just having the same thing. If I'm doing slapping on the open string there, all these ones that have open, again, like I said, can be popped or slapped. I tend to slap them. There's certain ones that are popped, but really all of them you can kind of do either or. So open, hammer, slap, you get the double slap in there. See how you get this, the double slap. So if we popped the open, it wouldn't quite get that, doing this all on one string. Pop, hammer, slap, pop, hammer, slap, pop, hammer, slap. Cool. That's number one. So we're just going to kind of graze through them like this. Number two, open, hammer, pop. So same thing. With regards to the open note, it can be popped or slapped. But this one, if you pop it, you're going to end up with a double pop, which is tricky. We're not doing that in the basic slap patterns. Yeah. It's a little bit easier if you pop on different strings, but yeah, if you pop a lower string and then the third stroke of the pattern is on a higher string, it's probably the easiest way to do that with a popped open. But it's still tricky because of the setup phase, right? This one isn't actually very economic to do. But if you open hammer pop, it's way better. And actually super common. Open hammer pop is like one of the most foundational one of these patterns in any bass player's repertoire. Not a lot of them are making it sound like that, but right on. Third pattern, open, slap, pop. So now we're getting the double slap on purpose, if we're still avoiding the double pop. Because the double slap's not too bad, but I don't like the triple slap. I'm just doing a power chord on the C here. Technically with the open A, I guess it would be an A minor. Cool. So that's a third pattern. Open, slap, pop. Fourth pattern, open, slap, hammer. Right on. Next, that was number 4, so we're going to do slap, pop, slap now. Open, slap, hammer was number 4. Now we're on slap, pop, slap. One of the favorite things about this is the alternating, right? Slap, pop, slap. Well, it kind of breaks it with the rest. If you're doing it like that, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. If you do it in 3, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. When you do it in 3, it starts to get a little convoluted between all the modes of it. When there's the rest in it in 4, it sort of helps to define the first note in the pattern a little better. But like when we're doing slap, pop, slap in 3, it can kind of start to sound like pop, slap, slap, and it can start to sound like slap, slap, pop, which are both in here. So we kind of want to try and focus on the correct rhythmic mode, if you will, that these patterns are in, because later they kind of start to cycle. Yeah. So that was number 5. Next is 6, slap, pop, hammer. All right. Slap, pop, hammer. Now we're going slap, pop, off. Slap, pop, off. Slap, pop, pull off. I call them I kind of like to just combine it. If it's a slap, pop, pull off, I just say slap, pop off, you know? Cool. Slap, pop, pull off. So now we're on slap, hammer, slap. So another one with the double slap. It's a really common thing to get good at that double slap. But without mixing up the rhythmic mode like we were just talking about. It's not slap, slap, hammer. It's slap, hammer, slap, right? Slap, slap, hammer comes later. All right, so that was slap, hammer, slap. That was number 8. Now number 9 is slap, hammer, pop. That one's a little good. A little good. It's another common one. Excuse me. Some of these are really, some of them are super common, which is why I'm just going through them algorithmically, hitting every single one of them. Because if you're only good at the common ones that you hear everywhere, like this one, you'll get real stuck in the rhythmic frame lock that slap bass does. And just like patterns do in general. Right on. Slap, hammer, pop, that was. And then slap, hammer, off now. Number 10. It's kind of a compound slur here. Hammer, pull off. There's certain places in this 50 basic slap bass patterns that I was avoiding the compound slurs. If you've been following, you know that. But this one, I mean, I only have to actually strike the string one time. It's almost barely even a slap pattern. There's only one slap in it. It's kind of hard to get that across more than one string too, unless you do hammer on out of nowhere. But we're not doing hammer-ons out of nowhere, so. Slap, pop, pull off. I think it's slap, pop, pull off. That one might come later, actually. We did slap, hammer, off. Slap, slap, hammer. That's the one. That's slap, slap, hammer. Now we're on slap, slap, off. That's another thing. You don't always have to pull off to the open note like I'm doing. It's just a little easier. Because you don't have to fret another note. But you can. All right. So I think the one that I wrote down wrong here, got a little confused. It was slap, pop, pop, but it's slap, slap, pop. So I'll just do that one now. This one's super, well, it's almost super Flea. If you look up on YouTube, there's a slap bass lesson from Flea where he's playing like a blue and orange bass and everything else is kind of gray in the video, I think. And he's just kind of explaining how like one of the very first patterns he ever started doing was pop, slap, slap. And then you get stuff like Nobody Weird Like Me, I think is the song off of Mother's Milk. I think that's a song called Nobody Weird Like Me, where Flea's just pop, slap, slap, pop, slap, slap, pop, slap, slap. Wasn't until I think Blood Sugar Sex Magic when they got together with Rick Rubin and he was like, hey, most bass players don't slap that much. But that was also way back in the day. So moving on. Now we're on pop, slap, slap. We're now starting it with the pop. Before it was slap, slap, pop. Now it's pop, slap, slap. Which is actually the one that Flea was doing there. Just some octaves there. Okay, now pop, slap, pop. As my microphone pops on you guys a little. Sorry for that. If you guys have been watching, you know that it's another really good way to use these patterns is just for fill work. That's another really good one. For this, pop, slap, pop. If you add another slap there and you fret mute the middle two notes, I know that's another pattern we get to later when it starts getting into 4, but if you just hit the first note for this one and then fret mute the next two, that's a good like kind of way to keep the groove going in between your actual noted notes with fret mutes like that. And the slap, pop, slap is a really good one. So you can see that's slap, pop, slap. But I mean, if you just cool. So pop, slap, pop. Now we're on slap, pop, slap, hammer. I got a casualty here. Let me just tighten that up a little bit. Probably making some noise for you guys. Sorry. pop, slap, hammer. Pop, slap, hammer. So now we're on pop, slap, off. Pop, slap, pull off. Pop, slap, off. There's a gross one. That one, see this one like starts good and resolves gross. That's all right, but as soon as I go, works for certain type of music. But if you do it the other way, where the octave is in the first note and then, or the seventh is on the first note and then I'm going down to the tension is on the first note and then I'm going down to the resolution, you know. That one resolves a little nicer. They almost both have like the exact same tonality, you know? It's just sort of one starts resolved and the other one ends resolved. All right, that's pop, slap off. Now we're on slap, slap off. I'm just doing descending chromatic power chords pretty much. Ascending. Slap, slap off. Now we're going slap off, pop. Again, you don't always have to pull off to the open. I just kind of habitually start that. Again, with this weird seventh thing. See, I don't know if you guys could tell there, but I kind of slipped into pop, slap off, but it's slap off, pop. See, it's subtly not the same. But we do cover both versions of those in these patterns, so no fret. Pop, slap off? No, slap off, pop. Okay, now we're on slap off, slap. All right, so that was slap off, slap. That one was kind of fun. Now we're into four stroke patterns. Open, hammer, slap, slap will be our first. So I'm taking the same ideas of how I'm mixing these up, and as the patterns change, they illuminate new variations, you know? Like now that we're into 4, open hammer, slap, slap. Instead of like only having one chance to do it on a different string, now we have 2 chances to do it on a different string. You can also pop the open one. So we go pop, open, hammer, slap, slap. Yeah, see, popping the open one there is interesting because it's it's quite difficult to pop a string underneath a string that you've slapped, right? So if I slap my D string here, it's pretty hard to next pop the A. Like you can do a weird thing, but the weird thing is kind of weird, you know? It's sort of like it doesn't work this way, right? Because then I would have to take my finger here and try and like get it below my thumb like that, which is really quite difficult. So if I like turn my wrist at some like hyper angle, it kind of gives my like this is normally, right? Like you're hooked like this way. But if I really crank it this way, which isn't really good, you can kind of get a bit more leverage for this one to pop underneath there. But I haven't mastered that in any kind of practical sense, so that's one that I just avoid. That's why I do the slap on the open one with this. But then I guess I also get this triple slap thing, which I kind of... It's reasonable at lower tempos. All right. Next we have open hammer, slap, pop. I feel like it's a common one. You hear that a lot. It's a good like chromatic build up lead into a note. Say if I'm going like hitting a note here, or I'm working up to a note here, like if I have a type of chord progression, which I'm kind of doing like a 5-7-1 there, then I can do this. Not that many steps. All right, so that was open hammer, slap, pop. Now we're on open hammer, slap, hammer. Open hammer, slap, hammer. This one's kind of bouncy because you're basically just... Open hammer, slap hammer, pretty straightforward. Open hammer, slap off. That's one of the harder ways to do a slap, a pull off, I guess. Like once you're there, it's no sweat. But to do the pull off from the pinky to the ring finger, pinky to middle finger is a little better because your pinky and your middle finger are a little bit independent, or are both independent. Your ring finger a little bit less than your pinky, I think. But that one, your ring finger is certainly your least independent finger. All right, open hammer, pop, slap is next. So similar to the one we just did of open hammer, slap, pop. This one is open hammer, pop, slap. You're just reversing the slap, pop, which is a little less symmetrical for your right hand. With this one, with the other one, you get this, with open hammer, slap, pop, you get a pretty consistent feeling of this, the double thing. You get this, that's the feeling. But with open hammer, slap, pop, or open hammer, pop, slap, you sort of have to wait a little longer. You have to wait that extra pattern before you do the slap, so it's not as symmetrical. It's more like a... Yeah. Maybe not. They're both symmetrical. All right, open hammer, pop, slap. Now we're on open hammer, pop, hammer. I often like to take the one note that's varying, which is the last one, and just move it. Move it across the strings. Which I guess is not the last one in this case. It's the second last one. It's weird. You see me trying to get this under pop I was just talking about. Doesn't work very well. That was open hammer, pop, hammer. Now we're doing open hammer, pop, off. Okay, open hammer, pop, off that was. Now we're on open slap, pop, hammer. I always find it tricky to do a hammer on from an octave. Like if I'm slapping here on an octave, it's nothing to slide it, which is still a slur, and that's usually how I do that. But since it's not a slide, you know, it's a hammer-on, it's pretty hard to get that. I mean, you can do the octave with your ring finger, but then it's pretty hard to hammer on. Like if I'm doing a whole step, I could probably hammer on a minor second, but there's not a lot. I mean, obviously there's places with minor second chords, flat 9 chords. So there is a place for that. It's a little harder to get a normal natural 9 in that though. And it's also a little harder to fret the octave with this finger to make that natural 9th easier to hammer on. That makes the octave pretty hard. So I just tend to not do an octave there. Like here, I'm doing root and then major 6th, minor 7. Kind of thinking about it as a Dorian chord. All right, that was open slap, pop, hammer. Now we're doing open slap, pop, pull off. We're getting into the ones that are kind of just like the open slap and the open hammers and stuff, because we're slapping a lot of those. They're going to end up being basically the same pattern as when we start with slap, slap, hammer instead of open hap slam, open hap slammer, open slap hammer, open hap slammer. That's a good song name. Somebody should use that. Okay, so we're on open slap pull off. I don't know why I like the minor 6th to the 5th there. It's a comfortable reach for these type of patterns for me. And I like practicing that pull off from the ring to from the pinky to the ring. But practice pulling off to every finger, you know. Okay, now we're on open slap, hammer, slap. Now I'm popping the open. All right, next we have open slap, hammer, pop. Right on. Now we're on slap, pop, slap, pop. This is one of the most important ones, I would say, because it gets you the alternate slapping. getting it on one string is difficult, but in my opinion, really important. And one of the things that just like when you can do it, really gets you more out of the rhythmic frame lock. It really allows you to like play melodies and stuff, you know? Play linear lines at least. Like pretty much everything there is just slap pop that I'm doing. It gets to be just like a pick, you know? That one I could jam on for a while. That's kind of an interesting resolution. I don't know if you would call that. Well, it is a suspension, but I'm not sure which kind, because it usually a suspended like a fourth chord would resolve like nicely to a consonant and a more consonant chord, you know. But I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's our fourth in there. But then when I'm going down here to this diminished chord, that's at least just how I'm conceiving it of it is a diminished chord. With just those three notes that I'm giving you, it could be this. Could be that dominant chord, you know? But I'm actually kind of thinking about it more like just that one different note on the bottom. Dominant, diminished, right? So usually a suspension would resolve down to like a, you know, a more resolved note. But the suspension here, specifically, that fourth becomes a flat fifth. So that's a pretty metal suspension. Right on. Slap, pop, super important, people. Slap, pop, slap, hammer. This is another one that makes good fills. Cool. Now we're on number 35, slap, pop, slap, pull off. Slap, pop, slap off. I'm pulling off to the open. Don't have to. Now I'm pulling off like there's a few ways you can conceive of this shape. I'm kind of conceiving of it as like this is the octave that's on the root note. and then I can pull off from the second to the root. But if you consider this the root, not the second, then you're doing the octave on the seventh. Which, you know, by itself without like a note going over it is pretty out of context. But if I use the E here, okay, so let's do the first one where this E down here is going to be my root note so that we can hear the context. And now that actually sounds like a 9. But if I treat the E as if it were my 7, and the, yeah. Yeah. If the E is my 7, then this is going to be my root. So I want to actually make my root the E, because the root was the 7 before, or the 7 was the E before. Now I want the 7 to be the, I want the root to be the E now. Slap, pop, hammer, slap. Slap, pop, slap, off. Sorry. See, it sounds a little harder to place, you know, especially with doubled 7. That's another thing, because the 9 and the 7 are both tensions, but when we're doing it like this, we're not doubling the 9, which I also kind of think the 9 is like a prettier tension. It is, because it's not a half step away from the root note, you know, but we're also doing a minor second, so it's also not a half step, it's a whole step. I like it with the E being the root, and we get that 9 in there. If we did this, we can double the 9. All right, that was slap, pop, slap, off. Now we're doing slap, pop, hammer, slap. Slap, pop, hammer, slap. That's interesting if you fret mute the first note. Usually this whole time we've been, you know, starting by playing the first note, but if you fret mute the first slap, actually, and this is pretty cool. Slap, pop, hammer, slap. Slap, pop, hammer, slap. But if you go, it's actually the last slap we're fret muting there, not the first one. Sorry, folks. Got home from tour 14 hours ago, so bear with me here while I try and unravel my brain. So we're not muting the first one, we're muting the fourth one. Also a little bit of swing there. So next, slap, pop, hammer, pop. I remember this one, yeah. I'm not going to go into super detail about why this one's kind of tricky. It's the pop, hammer, pop, because it avoids the setup phase. It's doable. If you really want to know, This one, I think is video 37, slap, pop, hammer, pop. So in that video, I go over in quite detail all the reasons why I think this one's kind of difficult, and I almost didn't include it. But I figured I would just put it in there as an example so we can actually cover some of the stuff that we're avoiding and look at like why we're avoiding it in these patterns. And we talk about a little bit how it'll be in the more further along videos, because we're going to do advanced patterns, we're going to do intermediate patterns, we're going to do 50 to 100 basic patterns. So make sure you subscribe if you're still here, and you're going to get all of those, and it's going to be fun. But we're almost done. So we're on slap, pop, open, slap now. Oh, slap, pop, pull off, slap. Slap, pop, off, slap. Slap, pop, off, slap. Okay, that was slap, pop, off, slap. Now we're doing slap, hammer, slap, pop. This one's kind of fun. I think this one makes another good fill. Slap, hammer, slap, pop. Now we're on slap, hammer, pop, slap. Pretty much does it. There you go. Hear me. Slap, hammer, pop, slap. That's the most recent one I have, guys. Slap, hammer, pop, slap. We're all caught up. That's number 40. So, I think the length of today was great. This worked out to be about just as long as I wanted to go on for, about an hour. Perfect. Thanks to everybody who stuck in. I saw a few guys watching there, and there's yeah, that was nice. So I hope you guys subscribe and share and like and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Hope you guys are practicing these patterns, and let me know how it goes for you. I'd really love to see you guys doing some stuff. Yeah, this video, though, it'll be a good one. You can really sit down with this video, and I was kind of just doing this to get back into the swing of the live videos, let you guys know that we're going to be doing this every day again until I'm done. Granted, there's only 10, and it's going to be kind of the Christmas season, so times are going to be tight. I'm going to try and keep these videos going for you guys, and we're going to have another series as soon as this is over. So when I'm done with all 50, I'm going to do another one of these where I review the whole thing. So for those of you that missed it, keep your eyes peeled for that, because we're going to be doing another full review when they're all over, when it's 50. So yeah, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to come back when you see me doing these live streams, and we can get to chat and let me know how you're doing with these patterns. So thanks for joining me, everybody, today. We'll see you tomorrow. Around noonish is when I'm trying to do these. It's, it's hit and miss, but that's my goal. early afternoon. So bye-bye, everybody. Thanks. Have a good day. Actually, one more thing. I forgot. If you're in Winnipeg, tonight is the 11th of December, and we're playing. Dizzy Mystics just got back from our tour, so come see us at the Windsor tonight. We're opening for Inhumed and a band. It's either Killitorous or Killitorous. I don't know if it's Killitorous or Killitorous. I think they both work. One's like a dinosaur, one has to do with anatomy. So pretty good name either way. If you're in Winnipeg, come down to the Windsor and check us out. It'll be fun. We're on early and it's going to be a great night. Lots of good guys. We're going to show our out-of-town guests a good time. So make sure you come check that out if you can. Later.